Ursula's Return has finally been completely revealed. And with that, there are some honestly game breaking new cards that I really want to get started talking about. Now, around new kind of sets and seasons, we are always interested in giving you guys new ways to start with your deck building. Today, preemptively, we're going to be talking about 13 cards that I think might actually be meta breaking potential from Ursula's Return. So, let's get into them. Ursula's Return is coming in just 1 week. The release date in local game stores is May 17th. And before we know it, we'll be sitting down in Chicago at the Chicago Lorcana Challenge, playing with these new cards, building brand new decks, and truly getting invested in new synergies and potentially even new ink combinations. With that, let's start out with some of the best cards that are guaranteed to make an impact on the metagame. Ariel Treasure Collector is a 6-cost, uninkable Sapphire character, Storyborn Hero Princess, 3 strength, 4 willpower, 3 lore, with the ability of Ward and the girl who has everything. While you have more items in play than each opponent, this character gets +2 lore. Ariel is another lucky dime enabler, but unlike Belle, comes with a bonus of Ward. Realistically, this character can safely be played in most cases, and the turn after potentially gaining you 10 lore by itself. The uninkable cost is noteworthy and will force some potential deck building constraints. However, this princess sure does pack a punch, and may be exactly what the item decks were looking for in Ursula's Return. Flynn Ryder Frenemy is a 2-cost inkable ruby character, Storyborn Hero Prince, 2 strength, 2 willpower, and 1 lore, with the ability Narrow Advantage. At the start of your turn, if you have a character in play with more strength than each opposing character, gain 3 lore. This is one of a few ruby cards with the potential to finally get some payoffs for having what I like to call big dumb idiots in your deck. This unique ability to gain passive lore while fighting off your opponent's board with Maleficent Dragons, Medusa, Maui, and more may present another layer to Ruby control, and possibly a reason to finally not need Amethyst Draw. Flynn Rider creating a way for you to utilize all of your when they come into play effect characters to remove opposing characters from the board while being stat 6 themselves. Maleficent Dragon having 7 strength, Maui having 6 strength. There are new characters that also truly mold well with Flynn Rider himself. I believe Flynn Rider could truly be the frenemy that nobody wants. Isabella Madrigal, 5-cost inkable amethyst character, Storyborn ally Madrigal, is a 3 strength, 4 willpower with 1 lore, evasive, with the ability of Ladies First. During your turn, if no other characters have quested this turn, this character gains +3 lore. Her secondary ability, Leave It to Me, whenever this character quests, your other characters can't quest for the rest of this turn. Isabella is a character getting a spotlight for its potential in an entirely different manner. In other games, it's very similar for a character of this nature to be the core winning mechanic to a game. A well-statted character with a unique, hard-to-deal-with ability that puts immediate pressure on the game for a low cost. Isabella checks all the boxes. A potential Amethyst Emerald deck utilizing Isabella and Flynn Rider to really close out games from a cheap, well-rounded characters has potential written all over it. Pegasus Cloud Racer is a 5-cost inkable emerald character, Floodborn ally, 3 strength, 3 willpower, 2 lore, with the abilities Shift 3, Evasive, and Hop On. When you play this character, if you use Shift to play him, your characters gain evasive until the start of your next turn. This is a card Emerald Aggro dreamed of. While Grab Your Swords still presents a true threat to any aggressive Emerald strategy, This card has the potential to truly create havoc for opponents that have a lack of interaction or evasive. Pegasus could effectively protect all your characters from being banished for an entire turn via challenges. And with cards like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, you may be able to string multiple turns in a row utilizing Pegasus' shift ability. Curse Merfolks, Flynn Riders, and so much more, gaining evasive is a true threat to any metagame. Goofy the Super Goof. 4 cost, inkable, ruby character, storyborn hero, 2 strength, 4 willpower, 1 lore, with the abilities Rush and Super Peanut powers. Whenever this character challenges another character, gain 2 lore. Rush has always been a dominant keyword in the game since Chapter 1, but the cost of challenging comes at the lack of questing. Now, because of Super Peanut powers, this character is actually incentivized to challenge instead of questing because you gain even more lore than he normally would. Even if you do not remove an opposing character, you're always gaining at least 2 lore. Paired with Shield of Virtue or LeFou, this card could be a menace for so many aggro decks to contend with. Guys, pretty soon the Disney Lorcana challenges are coming up, and even future local events that you may be searching for. If you really want to support the Forbidden Mountain, then why not buy a shirt, buy a hoodie, buy a tote bag, buy a hat, a bandana, whatever way you look at it, and you can kind of show up to any of these challenges supporting your love for the Forbidden Mountain. If you can, please check out the link in the description below or in the pinned post. Thank you guys so much. I cannot wait to see you guys in the Lorcana challenge. Let's get into the rest of these meta-breaking cards. BelleAccomplished Mystic is a 5-cost inkable character, Bloodborne, Hero, Princess, Sorcerer, 4 strength, 4 willpower, 2 lore, with the abilities Shift 3 and Enchanted Healing. When you play this character, move up to 3 damage counters from chosen character to chosen opposing character. Remember Rise of the Floodborn when Emerald Bell was revealed and everyone lost their minds and thought the card would be out of this world? Well, that never happened. This spell gives off an entire other level of vibes, making Mother Gothel a new layer of a threat, also with the aid of new characters that come into play with damage on them, such as Beast and Mulan. I'm not certain how the shift line will play out just yet, but it may be the least of your worries if Belle is able to come into play on 5, heal one of your characters, and banish an opposing one in the same turn, only adding to the layer of threats that Ruby Amethyst already has when it comes to controlling any board state. Ariel Sonic Warrior is a 6-cost inkable steel character, Floodborn Hero Princess, 3 strength, 8 willpower, 2 lore, with the abilities Shift 4 and Amplified Voice. When you play a song, you may pay 2 ink and deal 3 damage to chosen character. As if Steel Song needed any more incentive to play songs, am I right? Ariel Sonic Warrior very well could be the missing cog in consistent damage dealing for one of the best decks in the game. Perfectly on curve, shifting onto a spectacular singer, for the rest of the game you have the ability to sing songs, and for 2 additional ink, smash any character in sight. This card could very well be a sleeper in the eyes of many, but for us here on the Forbidden Mountain, it's hard to hide this much potential. The Muses, a 4-cost inkable emerald character, storyborn ally, 2 strength, 4 willpower, 1 lore, with the abilities Ward and The Gospel's Truth. Whenever you play a song, you may return chosen character with 2 strength or less to their player's hand. This is an ally none of us were asking for, but very well love that we've received. Ward is becoming more and more prominent as it's being placed on unique characters. Cogsworth and Sapphire has shown how well it can deliver when your opponents have a tough time interacting with it. On turn 4, we can play the Muses, sing a song with another character, potentially remove a character with a card like Let the Storm Rage On, and then return another character as well. A perfect Emerald tempo play to be had with the Muses. The other interesting play line here is the idea that you can actually bounce your own 2 strength or less characters to your hand, which means you could protect cards like Curse Merfolk and Flynn Ryder and replay them for the low cost of 1 or 2 to re-threaten their lore and not just simply give your opponents the easy way to challenge and remove them. The Muses might be one of the cards on this list that as time goes on and we receive even more characters with 2 strength or less, that when they come into play, they have a come into play ability that the Muses would love to abuse moving forward in the game. Time will tell how powerful this card truly can be. Mickey Mouse, Playful Sorcerer, is a 5 cost inkable steel character, Floodborn, Hero, Sorcerer, 3 strength, 4 willpower, shift 3, resist 1, and sweep away. When you play this character, deal damage to chosen character equal to the number of broom characters you have in play. This playful sorcerer has the potential to over-deliver for an archetype screaming to exist in the metagame. We were fortunate enough to receive several new brooms in steel, even more amethyst brooms as well. But this Mickey having an immediate impact on the game upon playing could be the cherry on top that brooms really needed. Diablo Devoted Herald is a 3 cost uninkable emerald character, Floodborn ally, 2 strength, 2 willpower, 1 lore with the abilities Shift, Discard an Action, and Evasive, along with Circle Far and Wide. During each opponent's turn, whenever they draw a card while this character is exerted, you may draw a card. The new shift evolution comes at a hefty cost. So when playing off these new Floodborns, there really needs to be an immediate payoff to it. Well, Emerald Floodborn and Amethyst Floodborn can have engines such as Bucky and Blue Fairy that really help with the cost of shift. Diablo, on the other hand, helps himself along the way, with now several 1 cost Diablos to shift onto, one that even gives us the clear with an ability to see our opponent's hand. This ally has the potential far beyond many of its counterparts, shifting as early as turn 2, triggering the Blue Fairy or Bucky for a payoff, then exerting to sing or quest, then pass to your opponent's turn, and then draw 1 card right away as they draw their card for turn, seems like a ton of synergy for this upcoming new strategy. Gustan, Despicable Dealer. 3 cost, uninkable, amber character, storyborn villain, 2 strength, 4 willpower, 1 lore, with the ability Dubious Recruitment. Exert, you may pay 2 less for the next character you play this turn. Lantern, Pluto, Doc have all been relevant cards in Lorcana, all quite vulnerable to all sorts of cards on turn 3. Gustan is a rule breaker for several reasons. 4 willpower helps him stay in play against the majority of steel removal, but Dubious Recruitment allows us to exert and effectively play a 6 cost character on 4, is well above the curve. This also gives us new shift line for Intellectual Powerhouse as well. This character is uninkable in a color combo that may find it hard to fit, but I believe he's absolutely worth the investment for his cost. When adding on the layer of Lantern or Pluto or Doc, the ability to play a character such as 7 or 8 cost well before you should be able to in a game may be a wonderful playline for Amber to explore in Ursula's Return. Be King Undisputed, a 4 cost, uninkable Ruby action song that reads, each opponent chooses and banishes 1 of their characters. Who is sick of Ward? How will we ever deal with it? Well, Be King Undisputed is going to force potential change from Ward enthusiasts. They may not have the security they once did to slam a lone Cogsworth or Prince John on the table. This song is well worth a potential unink slot in deck construction, because having Lady Tremaine being a single action on characters with Singer or Staples at 4 cost as is means trouble for so many decks within the metagame. Having the ability to keep all of your opponents honest and not allow them to be greedy and thinking that any one of their characters is going to stay in play by itself may be a true menace to this current metagame. Scuttle, Expert on Humans, is a 2 cost, inkable, sapphire character, storyborn ally, 1 strength, 3 willpower, 1 lore, with the ability Let Me See. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal an item card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Scuttle is another item slinger dream. Adding consistency and toolbox nature to item decks is going to lead to far more creative item decks. Scuttle adds a layer of consistency to being able to guarantee our 3-cost items on curve, help you find your missing popsicles in the early game, and even your payoff items in the late game. He very well may be able to inspire new ink combinations we have yet to see be successful within Lorcana. This expert on humans is truly one of a kind, with a wonderful stat line and an even bigger potential. That is 13 brand new, impactful Lorcana cards from Ursula's Return. Please let me know in the comments if I missed one. If you think that any of these don't belong and won't see played, I'd love to hear your reasoning for that. Because for me, these were the first 13 cards that when I looked through the list, I said, yep, those are the ones that I want to try out the most. Those are the ones I think create a difference within the metagame by adding as an auto include for consistency, a new archetype potential, or even more powerful within our control mindsets. So much for this and more coming in Ursula's Return. This is only a mere image of, honestly, a fracture of what Ursula's Return has to offer to the metagame, and we'll be covering it at length moving forward over the next few weeks as we lead all the way into the Lorcana Challenge in Chicago. Once again, if you're looking for a way to support us, buy some merch, join Team TFM. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you're looking for more videos like this, make sure you hit subscribe. If you liked it, hit like for me, and I will catch you guys in the next video.